The truth about Taylor Swift is that her biggest nightmare, and deep down inside, she knows down the road Travis is gonna cheat with a black bitch with a fat ass.
Period.
It might even be a hood bitch with a fat ass. That's what she.
Probably gonna be a hood bitch.
It's gonna be a hood bitch like Sexy Red with a fat ass. What? That's really what that white bitch is saying up here. She didn't want to say in the song. Deep down in her heart, she knows she's not his type. He just did.
She knows she's not a bad bitch.
She's not. She said she's not a bad bitch.
She's not a bad bitch.
She know he like bad bitches. I don't like Taylor Swift as the persona she shows the media, and I don't like her music. It doesn't do anything for me. So when Life of a Showgirl album dropped, no news, no radar, no splash, no nothing for me. However, when people started coming on the internet, especially black women in particular, said, oh, this album is chock full of microaggressions, and not only chock full of microaggressions, it also feels very much alt-right pipeline-y. I got curious. And so I listened to the entire album, and I think it can be summarized in a few parts. The main one, and the one that everybody is talking about, is the fact that Taylor Swift is very, very bothered by Travis Kelce's past dating history, because his dating history does not look like her. I think she's very bothered by that. And the other one being is because she does not look like his past dating history. I think from a standpoint, she understands that PR-wise, they look good together. I think Travis Kelce's type is black women and mixed women. But for his brand, Taylor Swift is perfect. And for her brand, he is perfect. She's a white girl, blonde, and I think blue eyes. And from her brand, he's an all-American football player. Like, they go well together. But I don't think that she is necessarily what he wants. This is me speculating, obviously. And I think another thing is she is very much being disturbed by his dating history, that she's trying to, in the album that I listened to, it feels very much, I'm not like the other girls that you dated. I'm better. I'm different. I'm not a bad bitch. I'm not a savage. Those are the exact lyrics. And my thing is, when you think bad bitch, when you think savage, my first thoughts immediately went to Megan Thee Stallion because of her song Savage. But when I thought about it for more than a second, society-wise, and at least musically-wise, when you think bad bitches, when you think savages, you think you're Megan Thee Stallions. You think you're Cardi B's. You think you're Rihanna's, you're Beyonce's. And when Nicki can be quiet, you think you're Nicki's. Like, it's giving, that is the kind of, the words and the connotations of bad bitch, savage, kind of go with black women, especially in the music industry. Like, I'm sorry, but I wouldn't be calling Ariana Grande a bad bitch. I don't consider Selena Gomez a bad bitch. I don't consider Miley Cyrus a bad bitch. I don't consider Taylor Swift a bad bitch. Like, that's just not, like, you understand, like, yeah. So that I can understand why that can be seen as a microaggression, because it is giving microaggressive, especially when you realize that the song itself is kind of implying, oh, I'm not what you're used to, but I'm better, like I'm here, giving very pick me. And I think one of the other main parts of the album is she's trying to grow as a person and being an older woman, because, she's about to be pushing 40 soon. She's like 34, I want to say, 34, 35. But she has made her entire brand of being a little white girl. And so she has to push through that, and she doesn't know how. But in this relationship that she now has with this man that she sees her settling down and having kids with, she's learning to be open, and she's learning to be vulnerable. And it just, I don't know. It's a weird album. And honestly, as someone, I don't care for her music, but I did listen to her, I want to say her first 2 country albums, and then after that I stopped. Those songs that she has on Life of a Showgirl very much give rejected songs from her other albums, and that's all I'm going to say on that. But yeah, that album, she's disturbed. she is bothered by his past, and it's coming out in that album. And that's all I'm gonna say on that.
So I did a little research, right? Taylor Swift has dated multiple, many men who have ended up dating black women or marrying black women or having children with black women or all three. Harry Styles, Tom Hiddleston, baby. Harry Styles is currently dating Zoe Kravitz. Hello. Calvin Harris married Vic Hope. Harry Styles, before he got with Zoe Kravitz, he was with Taylor Russell. Tom Hiddleston is actually engaged to Zawe Ashton. She's fine, honey. And then Maddie dated for quite some time FKA Twigs. Listen, I would feel some type of way if after every man that I was with, if I was a billionaire pop star, princess, supposedly the beauty standard, supposedly the perfect girl next door. What you next door to? Right, this goody two-shoes wholesome image. All of these men dated you, right? And you wrote songs about all of them. You are notably obsessed with them, right? And they all dated or married or have children with black women. Taylor, it's giving that you're insecure. You are obsessed with your exes. You are obsessed with black women. And the fact that your current fiance was in a very lengthy relationship and had other prior relationships with only black women, I feel like you think you achieved some type of ending to the mythos of your life. And I'm glad that you feel good that you're engaged. You should. That's where you should be enjoying. But instead, you made it a point to make an album where you are interpolating black music, and then Stevie Wonder and Jackson 5 at that. Girl, sit all the way down, okay? Then you are always taking jabs or little digs at Kayla Nicole. This woman is not doing shit to you and not saying shit to or about y'all, but y'all stay coming for her. Your album is less than, okay? You're a great writer, sure. But yeah, it's weird. It's definitely weird. And now that I know this about your dating history, it makes sense. It makes sense. Ooh, baby, it makes sense. Ooh.
This tweet and now my world is rocked, not because I necessarily care about either one of these women. They're both billionaires, both inherently unethical, but because this to me highlights just how much Taylor Swift's career was built on the back of her white womanhood. Not just her whiteness, not just her womanhood, but her white womanhood specifically. Thematically, tonally, talent-wise, those two albums could not be further apart. And it is clear to me that is the case because Taylor Swift has built her career for 20 years on the back of Perpetual girlhood, which is only possible when you're white. Women of color do not get the luxury of being girls into their 30s. They're often actually viewed as adults before they've even hit adulthood. Meanwhile, Taylor Swift is 35 years old and still acting like a teenager, still singing songs like a teenager, still writing songs that would be fitting in a 15-year-old's diary. She can get away with that because she's white. And you may be thinking, oh, it's not that deep, but actually, I think in this moment, when she's hanging out with MAGA heads, when she's writing songs about how she likes her friends canceled, it is that deep because it feels to me fairly obvious that she knows that her whiteness is central to her success, and actually she's sort of reveling in it. This concept of perpetual girlhood is so linked to white supremacy. It, one, holds a great amount of disdain for adult women, but two, historically speaking, white women being aged down and being seen as innocent and in need of protection has been the catalyst for a lot of racialized violence. In this current political climate, when women's rights are under attack, when trans rights are under attack, when people of color's rights are under attack, for a 35-year-old white woman to be looking at her primarily adult white woman fan base and saying, perpetual girlhood, that's dangerous. Fully grown white women thinking of themselves as girls, as 16-year-olds forever, is actually harmful to the rest of us. And quite frankly, it is embarrassing to still be buying this shtick. This is a woman who's closer to 40 than 30, and you're allowing her to convince you that she exists in this high school hierarchy and that she's the underdog. And it's because she knows that that's how you feel, that how at whatever age you're at, despite being fully grown, you still feel like you're stuck in a high school hierarchy mentality, and that you're the victim and the underdog, and that she's singing to you, and that she's just like you. Newsflash, she's not like you. This woman is a fucking billionaire and doesn't give a shit about you. I just need everyone to grow up. Abandon this idea of perpetual girlhood. Abandon everything that Taylor Swift stands for. It is imperative. It really is.
All my exes girls are black. I can't handle that, so I'ma write these lyrics with a subtle attack. Black, I can't handle that.
I was gonna I'm not a bad bitch, this isn't savage. I was gonna let that go. I was gonna let that one roll off my back. No, this isn't about the song that changed my life, the song where Beyonce delivered arguably the best remix of all time, Grammy award-winning Savage. No, Taylor wouldn't do that. Until yesterday, my co-host Sequoia told me that Travis Kelce asked out Meg Thee Stallion and she denied him. What's happening? Sorry, I had to, but and that Travis Kelce has only dated black women before Taylor, which I didn't know. So the subtext is hinting at, I'm not a black baddie, but I'm still your girl. And I think that sentiment could be fine if it's coming from a place of black women are dominating right now, especially in the music industry, and if she also shows her support for other black artists and black women in her orbit. But if you're saying that line and it is fueling bullying of Travis's ex, Kayla, who is black, that's not kosher in my book. Change the lyric. Like, don't include that lyric. It's not a good fucking lyric either. So what is the intention there? Like, we as fans, as the audience, are allowed to hold you accountable and ask that you show us what your intentions are through your actions, through what you're outspoken about.
Taylor Swift has zero impact on the black community. This is a fact that we know, and as a black man, I can speak boldly about that. Are there black Swifties? Absolutely. Does anything that Taylor Swift does move the needle within the black community? No chance. I said that, and the Swifties apparently lost their mind because this woman said, I needed to be humbled by Swifties. Taylor Swift does not have an impact on the black community at all.
So I had recorded this video and I had said that Black Swifties should go and humble him. If you are a Black Taylor Swift fan and you do not like people speaking for you, or if you just take exception to the idea that if you are black, you have no business being a Taylor Swift fan, if that irks your fucking nerve and you want to let him know that he doesn't know what he's talking about, then I invite you to go to his page and let him know that there are plenty of black people who are Taylor Swift fans. And
give me a minute.
I'll always say we live in two different realities in America, because there's an America in which Taylor Swift is their God. She is like the pinnacle of all things they aspire to be. And they can't fathom that for black people, she's not anything we aspire to be. And it's because to be black in this country and in the world is to have to be exceptional, have to be 10 to 20 times better than your average white person in order to climb the ladder, get recognition, be considered good. So when we see someone who's mediocre, like Taylor Swift, she is a mediocre white woman who sings mediocrely, who performs mediocrely, which is fine, you know. I think you guys get so offended when you say that, but the majority of the people in this world are mediocre. White, black, brown, Asian, Latino, the majority are. Now, mediocre means different things for different groups, yes. But Taylor's mediocre. Taylor has no impact on the black community. Nothing she does moves the needle in the black community. And I would go as far as to say as the Latino community as well. But yeah, I think it's hilarious that you made a whole video telling them that they need to humble me for a fact that I'm stating. Taylor Swift has fans from every demographic, but the bulk of her fans are white people.
Taylor Swift is obsessed with black women just like the world is obsessed with black women. Our intelligence, our resilience, our swag, our bodies, our culture. And to be a black woman is to be gaslit every day, to be made to believe like they don't give a damn about us, when really they cannot stop giving a damn about us. That is why everything we do is policed and critiqued. We talk too loud, we're too angry, we wear too much makeup, we wear too much weave, we want to be seen. Just grooming ourselves makes us want attention. By simply grooming ourselves, everything we do is under a microscope, because they are obsessed with us, and they will gaslight us and try to make us believe that they really don't acknowledge our presence. But our presence is undeniable. To be a black woman, you must know this. You got to know this, because you got to keep on shining regardless of what these people are going to try to convince you of. So when we're talking about Life of a Showgirl and whether or not the lyrics are racist, if you are a white person, how are you supposed to be a good ally when some black people feel this way and some black people feel that way? How are you supposed to be a good ally when they don't agree? Here are two things to bear in mind. First of all, the heart of being a good ally is understanding how other people feel. So even if you don't think the lyrics are racist and this group does, you can learn something from the group that does. You can learn how things can be perceived. You can learn what language could be triggering. You can learn how the other person or the other group feels about things. And that is the heart of being a good ally. So even if you don't agree with their stance, you can still learn something from it. Here's the second thing. And someone in my comments brought this to my attention, and I was furious that I didn't think of it first. Because I was so busy jamming out to the album, I wasn't really paying attention to the fact that this was happening. It wasn't really happening in my comment section that I noticed, but I should have known it would be happening in other places. One of the things that tends to happen when there comes to a conversation about whether or not something is racist is that a white person will look for someone in that group who does not think it's racist and go, see, she doesn't think it's racist, which means it isn't. Well, that's a fallacy. Just because I don't think something is racist doesn't mean it isn't. Just because I don't think something is racist doesn't mean someone else doesn't have the right to think it is. Just because this person thinks something is racist doesn't mean I don't have the right to think that it is not. Because we are not a monolith and we are not going to agree. But just because you found a person of color who agrees with your stance, do not climb up on that person's back to cast aspersions or insult the people who do think it's problematic. Because that in and of itself is racist and problematic. You using a person of color to insult another person of color is racist. So if you want to be a good ally, you need to learn from the people who are talking. Even if you don't agree with their stance, just learn something from what they're saying. And do not use one member of one group to insult members of another group. Okay?
Cool kids, a couple of thoughts about, let's call them the racially charged pot shots that Taylor Swift was taking in her recent album. First off, if you're one of those people that's like, I cannot believe you're saying Taylor Swift is a racist, I didn't see anything racist in those lyrics, take your plate upstairs, the grown folks are talking at the kitchen table, okay? If you're one of those people that heard those lyrics and said, ooh, that's absolutely a microaggression, that was absolutely racist, I totally get it. Love that for both of us. Your next step is to make sure you understand exactly why. Because it's one thing, for instance, to be able to look at this and say, hey, that's an apple is a fruit. It's another thing entirely to know that a cucumber is also a fruit. Yes, yes, yes. Because see, critical thinking is about more than repeating what you see on flashcards, you understand? It's about understanding the characteristics that make something what it is. You need to be able to point to, I'm not a bad bitch, I'm not a savage, and Onyx versus Opalite, and understand that that's not just a problem simply because she took pot shots at black women. Not because, hey, that's something that black women didn't like, and that means it's racist. No, I'm not a bad bitch. I'm not a savage. Onyx and Opalite. That is part of a long history of white womanhood's resentment of and rejection of black womanhood. It is also a long history of good girls' resentment of and rejection of bad girls or slutty womanhood, which is most often tied to who? Exactly. Why do you need to understand that? Because you need to be able to draw the very clear line between Opalite and Onyx and the fact that there were absolutely people that voted for Hillary Clinton but couldn't vote for Kamala Harris for some reason. There were absolutely people who voted for Liz Cheney, and when Liz Cheney told them to vote for Kamala Harris, they didn't do it. LOL, she endorsed Kamala. Did not tell you to take your plate up to your room. What you still doing at the top of the steps? And finally, if you were the person that was like, I understand, but can we just have this one moment of joy with this album? We have bigger fish to fry. The reason why the fish we have to fry are so big right now is because they're little fish that you allowed to grow. Because before Donald Trump was rounding up immigrants and putting them in cages and disappearing them, he was on Twitter in 2011 claiming that Barack Obama's birth certificate wasn't real, that he wasn't actually born in the United States. Yeah, nobody thought that was a big deal either. What did Cyrus say on Scandal that one time? Watergate was 2 lines in the newspaper about a burglary. Palestinians been going through genocide for 80 years. And right before Netanyahu started this latest chapter of it 2 years ago, he tweeted that they were in a battle between children of the light and children of the darkness. He said they followed the laws of the jungle. I'll never forget it. Just a couple lines of words. No big deal. Yeah, there's bigger fish to fry right now. I know you're tired. I'd be tired too if I was trying to fight with one of my eyes closed. Take a step back when you need to, of course, but you need to keep your eyes peeled for everything because it all matters. So those are all my thoughts about all the thoughts. Y'all be good.
But I'm not a black bitch, and I'm not a savage, but I'm scared that you might cheat on me with the black hood bitch, and she's gonna have a fat ass, and I have a flat ass, and I don't have no titties, but your last ex, she has some perky titties, and I'm a insecure white girl with a flat chest, thinking that I want a man that used to date black women, and now I'm taking shots, cause he's all that I got. Oh, Travis, just know if you ever fucking leave me, I'm still gonna have way more money than you. You're just gonna be known as Taylor's ex-football player boyfriend, fiance, that dated black women. And guess what? I'm gonna live my life, and I'm gonna still be rich. And you're gonna be a broke bitch, and probably retired by then because you gotta work on your throws.